Data is very important in the RTI process. It's important for teachers to keep up with small group documentation and what they do in small group. It's also important for teachers to keep up with at-risk students' mastery and non-mastery, as well as any other types of data that they may have, running records and progress monitoring. And Sandra will talk more about student records and documentation.
I agree with you, Christy. The documentation is one of the key components of the RTI process. I look at it as two parts. First, there's documentation that is done by the teacher, and that is on a timeline document where she records the universal screenings that are done 3 times a year, and also the progress monitoring of the students. And then there's a part that we as facilitators do, which we record like the teacher fidelity checks. We may record you know, how well the students are doing in the class. You know, it's a lot of documentation, and that's so important because when you document from the teacher's aspect or from the facilitator's aspect, you are gathering information about that student. And that's how, it's kind of like a lifeline we throw out to the parents, and that's how we get them involved, and that's how we keep them involved, because it's amazing how things used to be. You know, you may see what's in the child's file during parent-teacher conference time, and then that would be it. But with this timeline document, it shows where the student is, where they need to be, and how you're going to get them there. And you know, and if you're collecting the data, that is so, so important. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And at the facilitator level, it's important that you keep up with all of the data from day one, because in the event of a special education referral, you need that data from the past, not just for the present.
And also, you know, when you're collecting that data from day one until the end of the school year, that information goes on with that child to the next grade level. So when a teacher gets a new student, or get that student that was in 3rd grade going to 4th grade, they have something to use. They got some information. So that way they just won't be going on, well, I think he knows this or I think he knows that, but they know that the data has proved that this child is here or the child is there. And it also, like Christy said, it helps us to target the at-risk students, because that's what, you know, that's what the RTI process is all about, is targeting the at-risk students.
It also helps us determine how long a student will be in Tier 2 or Tier 3 and what intervention services that they need.
That's another thing we document too, is when the student is in Tier 2, it takes the student where they are, and through intervention, it helps us progress how he's doing in the academic performance from day one up until the end of the school year.